Good morning, dear one. I want to begin with a gentle truth. Every word you speak matters. Every word carries energy. Every word creates. When I first began to observe my own language, what I said aloud, what I mumbled under my breath, what I whispered to myself when no one else was listening, I was astonished. So many of my words were filled with fear, self-judgment, or resistance. Not because I meant to hurt myself, but because no one had ever taught me how powerful speech really is. We speak thousands of words every day, often without thought. We say things like, "I'm so stupid," or "I'll never get it right," or "This always happens to me." Without realizing, we are casting tiny spells, affirmations, really into the fabric of our reality. But just as a word can harm, a word can heal. Just as speech can close a heart, it can also open one. That's the teaching I want to explore with you today. That every word we speak is a thread in the tapestry of our life. And we can begin right now to weave with love, with hope, with faith. Every word I speak is a choice, and every choice shapes my life. The words I say to myself matter more than anything I hear from the world. I am learning to speak to myself with love. Our words are not random. They are patterns. They are habits formed early in life, shaped by the adults around us, the schools we attended, the culture we lived in. Most of us were never taught that the words we use about ourselves become the beliefs we carry. They become the life we live. When we say things like, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," "I don't deserve," or "it's too late for me," we are not stating truth. We are repeating old programming. And just like a computer can be updated, so can we. Not overnight, not by forcing, but through repetition, through awareness, through the simple act of choosing differently, one phrase at a time. It's never too late to change your words. It's never too late to change your story. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be willing. Let's take a moment now to practice that willingness. Place a gentle hand over your heart and say softly, "I am willing to speak life into my world." Feel how even that one sentence begins to shift something inside. Not because it's magic, but because it invites truth. It begins to rewrite the old script. And when enough of these moments come together, they form a new inner reality. One rooted not in criticism, but in compassion. This journey is not about judging yourself for the words you've used in the past. It is about noticing with love how you speak to yourself today. So let us begin there with this beautiful awareness that the voice you hear most often in your life is your own, and how you speak to yourself has the power to heal, uplift, and transform everything. In the sections that follow, we will explore how our words were shaped, how they became habits, and most importantly, how we can choose new ones that support our healing, our joy, and our peace. The point of power is always in this present moment. And in this moment, we choose love. In this moment, we choose life. When I began to truly listen to my language, I discovered something profound. Every word I speak is a creative act. Words are not empty sounds. They are extensions of my thoughts, carriers of belief, and messengers that travel both inward to my body and subconscious and outward into my experiences and relationships. Each time I speak, I send a message to myself. My cells listen, my emotions respond, my behavior follows, and the world, in its loving neutrality, mirrors back what I consistently express. This is not about blame. It is about awareness. Language sets a tone, and tone shapes experience. Repeated words become familiar pathways in the mind. When I say the same things over and over, I can't, I'm tired, it's too hard, nothing works out, those phrases sink in and quietly become beliefs. Beliefs then guide how I feel about myself, what I expect from life, and how I show up in the world. Over time, they influence my posture, my choices, and even my health. But the reverse is also true. When I choose loving words, I build loving beliefs. When I speak kindly to myself, I feel safer inside my own body. When I encourage myself, my confidence grows naturally. When I choose words of possibility, my actions begin to align with hope rather than fear. Language becomes a bridge connecting intention to outcome. Our self-image is shaped moment by moment through the words we use. If I constantly describe myself as flawed or incapable, I act from that place. I hesitate, I shrink, I doubt. But when I describe myself as learning, growing, and worthy, my behavior shifts. I try, I open, I move forward with greater ease. Words do not need to be loud to be powerful. Even the quiet sentences whispered in the mind carry weight. That is why speaking life out loud and within matters so deeply. I remind myself often, I choose words that support and encourage me. Wind, my words create peace within me. I speak kindly to myself, and my life reflects that kindness. Loving words invite joy. They soften the nervous system. They relax the body. They create space for creativity and flow. When my language is gentle, my inner world feels safer. And when I feel safe inside, life feels more cooperative outside. This is especially true in relationships. The way I speak to myself becomes the way I speak to others. The tone I use internally becomes the tone I project. Encouraging language fosters connection. Critical language creates distance. When I choose words rooted in respect and compassion, my relationships respond in kind. Language is a tuning fork. It sets the frequency of my day. A single sentence can shift a mood, open a heart, or change the direction of an entire conversation. And because words are chosen, not imposed, I always have a say. So I pause and ask myself, what tone do I want to set today? If I want peace, I choose peaceful words. If I want confidence, I speak encouragement. If I want ease, I release harshness. I affirm. I speak life into my experiences. My words uplift me and those around me. I choose language that reflects love and trust. Every time I choose a kinder phrase, I reinforce a new pattern. Every time I replace an old, limiting expression with a loving one, I open a new possibility. Language is not just communication, it is creation. And so, gently and consciously, I continue this practice, one sentence at a time, one loving word after another, because the words I choose today are shaping the life I live tomorrow. So many of the words I say to myself today were not originally mine. They were spoken to me directly or indirectly by others during the most impressionable years of my life. As children, we are like open fields. Whatever is planted grows. And often, without knowing, we absorb the fears, frustrations, and limitations of those around us. Perhaps I heard, "You're too much," or "Be quiet," or "You'll never get it right." Maybe it wasn't said aloud, but implied in a parent's sigh, a teacher's tone, or a caregiver's withdrawal. These moments, often small, become internal scripts. Over time, we repeat them to ourselves until they feel like truth. I'm not good enough. No one wants me. I always mess up. I'm too sensitive. I'll never succeed. These phrases become background noise, so familiar that we stop noticing they're there. But they influence everything: our decisions, relationships, confidence, and even how we experience joy. The truth is, these words were learned, not earned. They were passed down, often from people who were hurting, afraid, or repeating what was once said to them. Most of the negative language we carry was never about us, it was about them. Yet we've carried it for years, perhaps decades, as if it belonged. But just as these inner voices were learned, they can be unlearned. They are not fixed, they are not fate, and they are not who I truly am. When I begin to pay attention to my inner dialogue, not to judge, but simply to observe, I start to hear the inherited language clearly. I can ask, whose voice is that? Is this phrase helping or hurting me? Do I want to carry this belief into my future? Awareness is always the first step. I cannot change what I do not notice. But once I see an old thought clearly, I gain the power to choose a new one. Even now, I breathe deeply and affirm. I release the voices of the past. I no longer speak to myself with the pain of others. I am learning a new language of love. And letting go does not require anger or confrontation. It simply requires willingness, a quiet decision to no longer repeat what hurts. With every loving word I speak to myself, I plant a new seed, and these seeds grow into confidence, clarity, and peace. One of the most powerful shifts we can make is to interrupt the cycle of inherited self-talk. When I speak with love to myself, I heal not only my life, but I also stop the pattern from passing on to others, children, partners, friends, and even strangers. This healing begins with a whisper, not a shout. I am worthy. I am safe. I am allowed to speak kindly to myself. It is never too late to unlearn pain and remember truth. I am not here to live out someone else's fears. I am here to live with presence, purpose, and self-respect. And so today, I take this moment as a new beginning. I thank the voices of the past for what they taught me, even if the lessons were difficult. And I now lovingly say, that is not my truth anymore. I am learning a new voice, gentle, encouraging, empowering, a voice that sees my worth and reminds me of it, a voice that doesn't criticize, but coaches, that doesn't shame, but soothes. With awareness, I become free. With intention, I become whole. And with love, I learn to speak to myself like someone I truly care for, because I do. When I become aware of the words I use every day, I begin to understand the story I've been telling about myself. So much of our language, especially the way we speak to ourselves, is automatic. It flows without thought, shaped by years of repetition. But with awareness, I gain the beautiful power to pause, reflect, and choose again. Choosing new words is not about perfection. It's about intention. Maybe I notice that I say things like, I'm so stupid, I'll never get it right. Nothing ever works out for me. These words might seem small, even harmless, but they're not. They are the bricks that build the foundation of my reality. Each time I speak them, I reinforce an old belief. The shift begins when I gently observe my speech without judgment. When I catch myself using a harsh phrase, I don't need to scold myself. I simply say, I see you, old thought. Thank you for revealing yourself. But I'm choosing something new now. Then I reach for a new phrase, one that is kind, supportive, and aligned with who I'm becoming. Instead of I'm so stupid, I say, I am learning, and I give myself grace. Instead of I'll never get it right, I say, I grow with every step I take. Instead of nothing ever works out, I say, everything is unfolding in perfect timing, and I trust the process. This is not denial. This is redirection. I am guiding my mind toward the truth that empowers rather than diminishes me. Speaking these affirmations out loud is key. When I use my voice, I activate the body, mind, and energy system. My words move from mental concepts into lived experiences. I can feel the vibration of kindness and courage as I speak loving words to myself. Mirror work can deepen this practice. Standing in front of a mirror, I look into my own eyes, not as a critic, but as a friend. I say things like, I love and accept you. You are doing your best, and that is enough. You are worthy of kindness, joy, and peace. At first, this may feel uncomfortable or even emotional. That's okay. Resistance is normal. When we've spent years hearing or repeating negative messages, Loving words can feel unfamiliar, like a new language. But just like learning any new skill, it gets easier with gentle repetition. I don't need to force change. I just need to be consistent. When I water a plant each day, I don't dig it up to see if it's growing. I trust the process. The same is true for affirmations, spoken with sincerity and patience. They take root in the subconscious, where real transformation begins. I remind myself, the words I speak today become my life tomorrow. I am not just rewriting my thoughts, I am rewriting my future. Each time I speak with love, I deepen my relationship with myself. Even if no one else hears these affirmations, I hear them, and that is enough. Because the most important conversations I'll ever have are the ones I have with myself. So I keep going. I speak kindly even when it feels unfamiliar. I soften my words when I feel tempted to criticize. I pause and breathe when I want to default to an old script. And most of all, I celebrate the small shifts, the gentle rewrites, the quiet victories, because I know now that the way I speak to myself is not just language, it is love in action. And I am worthy of that love every day, every word, every moment. Change does not require grand effort. It requires gentle, daily devotion. The way I speak to myself throughout the day becomes a rhythm, a healing melody that rewires my emotional world. The words I choose, especially in quiet, ordinary moments, can uplift, anchor, and transform me. Every part of the day offers a sacred opportunity to speak life. Morning, awakening with intention. The moment I wake up, before my feet even touch the floor, I have a choice. I can reach for the same tired, worried thoughts, or I can gently whisper new ones. Instead of "I'm so tired" or "I don't want to deal with this day," I say, "This is a new day," and I greet it with gratitude. Today, I choose peace over fear. Something wonderful is always unfolding. These simple morning affirmations set the emotional tone. They become my compass, guiding how I respond to life's inevitable surprises. Like stretching my body, I stretch my mind toward love. I can write a few affirmations on a sticky note and place them on the bathroom mirror, or I can speak them softly while brushing my teeth or making my tea. This is not about doing more, it's about infusing what I already do with kindness. Daytime, speaking life into routine moments. As I move through my day, I bring my affirmations with me, not as tasks, but as companions. When I notice tension or frustration, I pause and ask, what do I need to hear right now? Instead of spiraling into old patterns, I might say, I am doing my best, and that is enough. I trust myself to handle this moment with grace. Every breath I take brings me back to balance. In class, during work, errands, parenting, or navigating relationships, I remember that every word I speak to myself or others is an extension of my energy. I choose language that builds rather than breaks. Even in challenge, I remain committed to compassion. If I make a mistake, I say, "It's okay, I'm learning." If I feel overwhelmed, I whisper, "I am safe. I can take this one step at a time." In joyful moments, I amplify the joy. I welcome this moment fully, where life is responding to my gratitude. The more I practice, the more my mind becomes a safe place, a place of encouragement, not criticism, a place where I feel at home. Evening, releasing and restoring through gentle language. At the close of the day, my words soften. The body is ready to rest, and the mind begins to unwind. This is the perfect time to speak words of release and peace. I might lie in bed and say, "I release this day with love. Everything I did today was enough. If I forgive myself and others, I choose peace." Even if the day didn't go perfectly, I remind myself I am growing, I am healing, I am becoming. Gratitude is a balm at night. I give thanks for small things. A smile, a breath, a lesson, a moment of quiet. This practice isn't about erasing what went wrong. It's about remembering what went right and training my focus toward grace. As I drift into sleep, I speak gentle affirmations. I rest in safety and store. My body knows how to restore itself. Tomorrow is a new beginning, and I will meet it with love. The thread that connects it all, patience and repetition. These practices are not about being perfect. They are about being present. Words are not magic spells, but they are consistent invitations. The more I repeat them with sincerity, the more my inner world shifts. I do not force change. I simply return again and again to loving words, in traffic, in conversation, in silence, in stress, in success. I remember I have a choice, and I choose love. Every moment is an opportunity to begin again. My voice is not just sound, it is healing energy. Letting kind words flow through my day is a gift I give myself, not because I need to be fixed, but because I deserve to feel supported by the voice I hear most, my own. And in doing so, I become not only the speaker of my life, but the gentle author of my healing. Healing begins with the words we dare to speak to ourselves. Every phrase we whisper inwardly either creates a space for peace or fuels the fire of pain. For many years, I didn't understand how much of my suffering came not from what others said to me, but from what I repeated within myself. I learned that guilt, shame, and self-criticism are not motivators. They are chains. And I had the key all along, my own voice, releasing the inner critic with gentle words. It is so easy to say things like, "I'm so stupid. I can never get it right. I'm just not enough." We don't even notice how automatic those words have become. But when we say them, the body listens, the heart absorbs them. The mind believes them, and the spirit becomes weary. Now I choose different words. I remind myself, I am doing my best, and that is enough. I learn through love, not punishment. In you, I forgive myself for believing I had to be perfect. Each time I replace judgment with compassion, I heal something old. I untangle a knot that has been there far too long. Healing isn't a grand performance, it's a quiet decision made over and over again. Forgiveness as a language of freedom. Forgiveness doesn't mean I approve of what happened. It means I love myself enough to stop carrying what doesn't belong to me. Forgiveness isn't just for others, it's for me. It lightens the load I carry, and it begins with the way I speak. Instead of, "They ruined my life," I might say, "I release them from my story. I am free to live now." Instead of, "I'll never forgive myself for that," I say, "I was doing the best I could with what I knew then. I choose compassion now." Words like these open space in the heart. They soften the inner terrain. They turn wounds into wisdom, creating safe, loving relationships through language. What we say shapes how others feel around us. When our words are harsh, walls go up. When our words are kind, trust begins to grow. In every relationship, friendships, family, partnership, or workplace, we have the power to create emotional safety. This begins not with fixing others, but with speaking from a grounded place in ourselves. Words like, "I see you, thank you, tell me more, I understand, I'm sorry." These phrases open doors. They build bridges. They invite love in. And when we use words of kindness with others, we often find that kindness returning to us. The ripple effect of loving language. Every word we speak ripples outward like a pebble dropped into a still pond. Kind words said to ourselves spread through our energy. They influence how we speak to others. They change how others speak to us. They shift the atmosphere of our homes, our friendships, even our communities. A gentle thank you can brighten a stranger's day. An honest "I'm proud of you" can change a child's self-worth. A simple "you matter" can be the seed of someone else's healing. And each time we repeat these loving phrases to ourselves, we deepen our own transformation. Affirmations for peace, understanding, and healing. Let us carry these words gently today. I forgive myself and others with ease. I release guilt and choose peace. I speak to myself with the same love I give to a dear friend. My words are healing, and my voice is a source of peace. I allow kindness to be the language of my life. These affirmations are not just feel-good sentences. They are tools. They are invitations. They are blueprints for a life built on emotional safety, compassion, and joy. Dear reader, today I invite you to choose one loving phrase, just one. Whisper it to yourself this morning. Repeat it at lunch. Say it again before bed. Feel it. Let it soften something inside. Let it become your companion. Maybe it's, "I approve of myself." Maybe it's, "I forgive and set myself free." Maybe it's, I am safe to be me. Whatever it is, let it guide you, because every time you choose love in your words, you create more of it in your life. This is the miracle of conscious speech. Healing begins with the words we are brave enough to say. What a gentle and powerful journey this has been. A journey into the heart of our own words, a place where healing begins, stories shift, and new lives are born. You have now walked through the core teaching that has changed my life and the lives of so many others. Your words create your world, not with effort, not with perfection, but with the quiet, consistent choice to speak with love. From awareness to empowerment. It begins with awareness. When we slow down and begin to notice the things we say to ourselves, about others, we become aware of the patterns we've been living by. Many of those patterns were never ours to begin with. They were given to us by voices from the past, by frightened adults, by unhealed pain. But awareness is powerful because from awareness, we step into choice, the choice to speak life. Each day presents the same invitation to speak words of fear or words of love, to choose phrases that limit us or ones that lift us. There is no rush. You don't have to change everything overnight. Transformation doesn't happen through force, it happens gently, one word at a time. When you choose a single loving affirmation and say it with sincerity, you plant a seed. That seed becomes a habit. That habit becomes a belief. And that belief creates a new life. Let this be a daily practice of love. Speak to yourself kindly in the mirror. Whisper loving phrases during quiet moments of the day. Use your words to forgive, to encourage, to bring peace. Yes, you will still have moments of doubt or frustration. That's human. But your words will be your tools, your anchors, your bridge back to love. The more you speak life, the more your life will blossom. You are already enough. You don't have to wait to be perfect to use beautiful words. You don't have to earn love to say, I approve of myself. You are already enough. Right now, worthy of kindness, worthy of healing, worthy of words that build you up and remind you of your light. So speak gently, speak intentionally. Let your voice become your comfort, your courage, your creative power. Let your voice lead the way. Remember, dear one, that you are never stuck. At any moment, you can begin again with a single word. If you've said hurtful things in the past to yourself or others, let this be your moment of forgiveness. If you've silenced your voice out of fear or shame, let this be your moment of reclaiming. And if you've forgotten how powerful your words really are, let this be your moment of remembering. Because your voice matters. Your words carry energy, and you are the one who chooses them. Let us take a breath together. Let the past be still. Let the mind be quiet. Let the heart open. Just a little more, and say these words with me, if you feel ready. As I choose loving words, my life responds with love. I speak life. I choose kindness. and I trust the power of my voice. You are free to speak a new reality into being. You are safe to use your voice to heal. You are ready for this next beautiful chapter, one word at a time. This is your day. This is your voice. And this is your time to speak life.